debris to bore. So one of the utilities that we're working with in Ethiopia, they're just coming to the end of a 10-day visit to the UK and specifically spending time with Yorkshire Water. So we wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you and share some of the learnings that we've been going through on our journey with the partnership with Yorkshire Water utilities in Ethiopia. Not quite sure what was happening with technology there. Please do bear with us if things go wrong. Can you? Yeah. Yeah. Got it. That one's good. Yeah, if you want. Yeah. Sorry, we will get there eventually. So 35 years ago, WaterAid was founded by the UK water industry, and obviously we've been on a journey over that time. We've been developing our partnerships, our ways of working, and that still continues to be developed today. And that's what we're here to talk to you about. So a couple of years ago, we were given this quote by Yorkshire Water. Obviously, they were supporting us financially. They have been doing for 35 years, or 35 years now. So they've been supporting us for over 30 years on a financial basis. But they felt and recognised an opportunity to provide support beyond fundraising. We weren't quite sure what that actually looked like, what that could be, what it even meant. But we recognised that there was an opportunity to use, that extensive knowledge, 100 years of the UK water industry, to help with some of our work in the country. So we looked at what the partnership could look like, and we recognised that there had to remain some core elements within that partnership, but we sort of identified 6 key areas. So advocacy. The UK water industry has people within its team who are lobbying local MPs, councillors, but also national governments as well. So we recognise there's an opportunity to better align our work around advocacy, and we've had some great successes. The Great Stink event a couple of years ago, Yorkshire Water actually secured the attendance of 13 MPs from the Yorkshire region, which is the biggest attendance of any region in the UK. And we recognise that was because they had the relationship with those MPs. Volunteering. We have a great committee in Yorkshire. They have put on a series of events throughout the year. So again, we recognise that we could do a lot with the volunteers and really sort of strengthen that opportunity and make it relevant to them in the business. So looking at how they could put that into their learning and development. And we've been really strengthening that, and also measuring the impact of that volunteering. So looking at how many people within the business were actively supporting WaterAid, whether that was going and attending a meeting, whether that was talking in their local community, or delivering events. Fundraising. So this is a 5-year partnership, so we set some goals, and the goals were to raise £1 million over 5 years. We're halfway through, and we're at the target. So we're at over 600,000 halfway through, so we're really pleased with that. With all the funds going to support our work in Ethiopia. Customers. Everybody in the UK is a water company customer. So again, there's a great opportunity for us to get our message out there, to engage with customers. And we've been looking at new ways to do that. Education. So again, the UK water industry has strong presence in the education forum, whether that is delivering outreach into schools or hosting visits to their centres. So again, we recognise there's an opportunity to strengthen our message going out to young people. And then the last area was capacity development. Capacity building, capacity strengthening, skill sharing, knowledge transfer, whatever you call it, whatever that means to you. So that's what we're going to talk to you about. So we recognised there was an area an opportunity to share skills. We didn't know what that was going to look like. We knew it was going to take time. And also off the back of these 6 areas, we recognised that if we were doing this right, we would generate strong media and PR. So again, just strengthening the WaterAid message, but also strengthening our partnership and the brand for Yorkshire Water. So we launched the partnership with a film, and I'm going to show that, and hopefully the technology is going to work. The film was produced a couple of years ago, so apologies for any out-of-date sound.
Here today we've seen the reality of not having access to clean water and not having access to a safe place to go to the toilet, combined with a lack of hygiene education. And all of that is conspiring against these people, that means that there's up to 2,000 children a day dying because they haven't got access to clean water and sanitation. Being here and seeing that, it's just put it really into perspective and brought the reality home to me today.
So quite a powerful film. That was actually shared at Yorkshire Water's People Leader event. So presented to 300 of their managers from across the business, and that was the launch of the new partnership. But what is capacity development? Why do we need it, and how do we deliver it? That's the question that we're all asking ourselves. And I'm going to hand over to Magnus, who's going to put the presentation from now.
Thank you. I'm Magnus. Good afternoon for Ethiopian guys. So I will continue about the capacity. We call it capacity development instead of building, because capacity development is a continuous process. It's not a one-time process. like that putting of hand pumps or any hardware. So it's development, and it has its own ups and downs, so that we said it has capacity development instead of capacity building, because capacity building it's a one-time activity. You may provide training or something, but you may not have any follow-up or other action after that. But development continues. So when we see the context, why we do the capacity development in Ethiopia, if you see the context, we have a gap between the demand and the supply. One of the areas that causes this is lack of capacity to operate the existing infrastructure, because we should have maximum impact from the existing investment. If we do not have that investment, we can't help people to get access. So one of the areas that hinders this is capacity. So we want to do capacity building to run this infrastructure in efficient and effective way. So that is one of the areas that we saw. And we show sustainability issues. There are a lot of infrastructure investment, but if we see the service sustainability, not actually the scheme sustainability. So we have a lot of challenges in technical. So there are not technical people that have the right skill to operate the water schemes. Financial is the major challenge, because the utilities should collect enough money to operate the scheme. If they didn't have enough money, they can't operate, investing in other infrastructures. So that was an environmental challenge. We are extracting the water, but currently we are not bothering about the environmental. So we may be a challenge in the future to get that water. We have institutional challenges. We have structures, but that are not fit for purpose. So in our case, the function are led by the structure, but it should be the function that leads the structure. So we have an institutional challenge also. Social challenges, equity is an issue. We may have a water supply in any urban area, but if you find in some areas you can't find. People may get 24 hours in some areas, but people may not get water for 3 months in one area, but they live in the same area. So we have a social equity issue also. As a result of our inefficient operation, there is high customer dissatisfaction in our service. Here in UK, we saw that the customer is the king, but in our case, the utility is the king, so that they can disconnect whatever they want. People may be penalized if they fail to pay their monthly pays. So I think the customer issue was not considered. We have also governance issues in this area, because these water utilities are established as enterprises. They are public enterprise in our case, but they have also boards. And the boards are from community and also from the government administration. So there is an issue of government and accountability also on that area. Overall, we have the lack of the capacity to run effectively and efficiently the infrastructure investment. And as a result, if we see the investment, only the investment and also the efficiency, it is not comparable with the amount of investment. So I think we need to have a maximum benefit from the current infrastructure investment. We have investments from different donors and supporters, like the World Bank, the African Development Bank, but they are considering only the infrastructure investment without considering the institution. So if a water utility, water supply system is changed from one borehole to a surface water treatment system, the institution should be changed, because they were managing one borehole previously, so now it was changed. So that was not considered in the project. So after any investment, you saw that after 5 years, all the utilities need another investment, because we are not operating properly the existing investment. And also the capacity development was also considered as one of the pillars in the One Wash program. In Ethiopia, we have a sector-wide approach, and we have the One Wash program. In the One Wash program, we have 3 pillars. So one of the pillars in the One Wash program is the capacity development. So our program is in line with the government's plan, and also it is based on the needs of the current context of Ethiopia. On top of that, we have backlogs, but now we are on the growth and transformation plan too, and the government has an ambitious plan to reach a low middle income country by 2025. So to reach that 2025, the water sector should be reformed, should be also reformed. So they set an extended service target. For example, currently, the target is to get 20 liters per capita per day. But when you come to the growth and transformation plan, it is changed to be between 400 and 500. So that's almost double. So this is also based on the category of the town. So we have the backlog, but we were trying to extend also the service. So there is a paradox that shows it. And also, we have a challenge in managing non-revenue water or leakage, unaccounted water. In Ethiopia, it's around 40% in every town. So if you invest, if you do any investment, you lose the 40% because if you do not manage the leakage, it's always leaking. And leakage is actually happened when all over the treatment work was finalized. So it is a loss of money in the way to supply water. So we have to manage that leakage. Unless otherwise we manage the leakage, the service will be always reduced by that percent of leakage. And also, so I think they plan to decrease from the 40% to 20%. So that means it's almost half. And also they have a plan to increase the service continuity for 16 hours. As I talked previously, in some areas you can't find water for more than 3 months or 2 weeks. That's common. But now the plan is to have 16 hours water supply because in UK it's 24 hours. And we heard that in Yorkshire, if they fail to supply more than 3 hours, they will be penalized by the regulator. But in our case, that is not the case. But the government has an ambitious plan to provide water for 16 hours continuously. So this needs the change or the transformation of institutions because they should consider all this to supply the service. And also, they should also recover their investment. Currently, most of the utilities are supported by the town administration. They have a support fund. They are not actually running by themselves. But there is a plan to get cost recovery from the investment, the infrastructure investment. So if the utility wants to recover this cost, they should have effective and efficient operation system. And also, previously we actually in most of the utilities, water quality is done at the beginning of the project, and it's continued for granted after that. But in the growth and transformation plan, the government has a plan to ensure also quality beyond the quantity. Because as we all understand, in Millennium Development Goals, it's all about access. But when it comes to the Sustainable Development Goal, it's about sustainability, equity, and quality. So like that, in our case, in GTP1, it was about access, nothing about quality. Then when it comes to GTP2, it's changed to more for quality, equity, and sustainability. So that needs efficient management also. And also, they have a plan also to see the impact of the water on the environment. So they have a plan to establish groundwater mechanisms. So if we see the current situation, we have backlogs that were not finished, but we have also an ambitious plan. So in order to meet the backlogs and go forward to the ambitious plan, we have to have a capacity that can deliver all this. If we come to the component of the capacity development, actually we follow a comprehensive capacity development framework that has human resource element, system development, and procurement of basic tools. So these are the basic interventions that one. And also our capacity development also encompasses other stakeholders in the water utilities because the mayors are the board members, the health office heads are the board members, the municipality managers. So we have to also focus, because we are also working on wash, not only water. In our case, the water utilities are responsible more for water, and in some cases, sewage. But the sanitation component is managed by municipalities and the health office. So, for water aid, we have to focus both the utilities as well as the other sectors. And also, we were also trying to connect this our capacity development program with others. So this is actually our framework. So if we see the human resource, if we develop, or if we change the people's attitude, knowledge, and the skill, and if we develop systems, and if we have some kind of basic tools, so that we can provide this kind of water. So the institution will become accountable, equitable, responsible, and integrated, and we will have an efficient and effective institution. So this is the framework that we use for the overall capacity development work. The approaches. When we come to the approaches, before starting the project or the capacity development project, first we try to benchmark the current situation, because we have to know the existing situation currently. We have to clearly identify also the capacity need gaps. So we did a baseline or a benchmarking. So we have all the benchmarks for the 20 towns based on key performance indicators. Then, in order to start our capacity development, we have to start from the board, because they are the one who leads the organization. If we start from the technical person and give training for technical, that will not be implemented, because the boards are the ones who decided about the overall institutional management. So when we start the capacity building, we started from the board. So we have a training for the boards about the policies, the strategies, and the need of the wash. So we have a training on that. Then, based on the capacity need assessment and our benchmarking, we tried to develop toolkits for each intervention, so that we can provide a standard training for the staffs and also the other members. And as part of our advocacy and influencing work, we have also tried to network this project to others, because in Ethiopia, we have a national utilities forum and regional utilities forum. That's like a platform for knowledge change, knowledge exchange. So we use that platform to share our experience, and also the towns also present their achievements in the project, so that it will have a wider effect in our Ethiopian utilities, rather than concentrating only on the 20 towns. But so that means we have a practical intervention in 20 towns, but we tried to influence the overall sector through the networking and the experience sharing. And as Christine said, the partnership with Yorkshire is different. Previously, I think most of the partnership is about fundraising and getting money from these donors. But we know that we take this money, and sometimes we have to hire consultants to do works. But we have experience here, a lot of experience, and a lot of people that have the skill and working on the industry. So what we have designed is that we designed that it will be better if we use their technical skill for Ethiopia. Then we brought technicians from Ethiopia based on our needs, not prescribed by any person. It is based on our needs. Then what we did is that they came to Ethiopia, then we had a contextual visit, so that they can understand our situation, because the operation in Yorkshire is different in some town in Ethiopia. So they have the knowledge and the skill, but they don't know the situation. So first, we have to show them that our context is this one, so that they can prepare their training materials and others and examples based on the context and also their skill. After every training, we try to develop action plans. So after any training, we have to have an action plan. So to see the implementation or to monitor the implementation of the action plan, we did a routinely coaching and support, because we have to go and see how they are implementing, what challenge they face, so that we can support at the ground level. So we did actually coaching and support, and we have also annual review meetings to see our progress and also to share their learnings between them. And also now, I think we are on the practical visit now. We heard about Yorkshire. We read about Yorkshire and about the UK industry. But seeing is more than hearing. So now we came here and we saw a lot of things, how they are working and what was their challenge and also how they reach this service level. And I think when we see the visitors, in some of the areas, we are 100 years behind. In some areas, 30 years. Maybe in some areas, less than 10 years. So we have a lot of learnings from this visit, and we will develop action plans that can be applicable in our context, and we will use that. And beyond the partnership between Yorkshire and WaterAid, we tried to diversify our partnership also to the universities because they have the technical skills to generate evidence. We need evidence for advocacy. We need evidence to improve our intervention. We need evidence for innovation. So we have to partnership with the right people. So we try to have a linkage with the Leeds University that is mostly focused on sanitation. So I think now we managed to develop a tool called the sheet flow diagram. So that will be used even for other WaterAid country programs. We will continue on that. So this was the scoping visit. So first, people from Yorkshire conducted a scoping visit before the project. So they saw what's happening, the situation. So I think there are 4 or 5 people from Yorkshire. We did first the context visit from the before the project. Then when we come to the developing the program, it was us who designed the program. It is not Yorkshire. So the program was need-based, flexible, and we are also learning throughout the system. And so we see a lot of improvement. So there is no any prescribed intervention for us. We did what we want and what we assume that it will bring us change in our context. And we assume the replicability of the program also at the beginning. So when we did anything, we assume that is this important for scale up? So we have to consider always in our intervention. And also, we designed actually this project based on pilot experience in other 7 towns. We had a pilot for 3 years, and we did for 7 towns, and we tried to capture the learning from the 7 towns and improve the implementation into the 20 towns. So this was the development of the project, and this may be important. The most important thing is the flexibility, and it should be need-based. So if any water industry wants to partnership with other country, it is not possible to, it will be difficult to tell people to do something that cannot be implemented in other countries. So I think it should be flexible, but it can be also merged based on the context. This is the technical visit. I think I have explained here. So we had experts on leakage management. We have experts on asset management and water quality because that area was the most important area to begin our capacity development work. So we did a visit, and they saw actually these experts saw also what actually the water utilities manage their leakage. So how they did the leakage management. So previously, actually, in our case, leakage was not actually considered as an issue. It's normal for every utility. And every utility is looking another new infrastructure investment instead of improving the leakage. So I think as a result of our intervention now, the utilities start to think about leakage. So they think about how to reduce their leakage. Now it becomes also as a national plan and a national indicator. So leakage now becomes more important than the infrastructure investment. So this is all the visits that we have. Look, this is a practical demonstration about leakage. We had a leakage in one of the towns, and the Yorkshire people were working on the leakage. These are the areas that we are actually have talked a lot. It's about government and leadership. In government and leadership, we actually focus on 3 areas: on board management, customer forum establishment to have more accountable and responsibility, because in Ethiopia, water aid cannot work directly to the right-based approach. So we have to have another approach for that. So we are using the customer forums to have more accountability and responsiveness. We provide training. We usually provide also tools. These are the achievements. So this is the areas and the achievements. I think we can go. This is the asset management. So this is the previous asset management in one of the YouTube. Look how it's discussing the asset. So how she is providing fitting to a customer within a short time. Because in our setting, the customer comes to the office, then the technical person estimates the amount of the type of fitting that he wants. Then he should go to the store and find if fitting is available. So she should find all that fittings from this area. This is impossible. So usually it took 3 days to allocate the fitting. Now we have changed it like this one. So it is very easy and it takes only 2 hours, 30 minutes. So it's very simple and everything is displayed, and it's also more attractive for the worker. Look here how she is working, because here you have a lot of justice. But it's an issue also for health and safety, but here it's different. So I think we saw this one also in Yorkshire. They are transforming their store management like this one. So it's almost we are on the right journey. This is leakage. We have a pipe like this one. Nobody knows whether this is leaking or not. What they know is that people have the faucets in the households, and the utilities know that water is flowing on that area, but no water in the household. And there is always complaint because nobody knows that where the water goes. So we have to do this one. We have to find for this solution. So we have to, first we have to identify the leakage. Then if we get the leakage, we have to find a solution. One of the solutions is to change these JS pipes into HDP pipes so that the leakage will be reduced. They are more sustainable, easy to install, because in some of the areas we have hard waters that erode the GS pipes. So instead of that, it will be wise to use the HDP pipes. This is the net. Most of the utilities do not know their network. So the network was actually available in the old guy that was working on the plumbing, because he knows all the networks by his mind. Nobody knows. So if you are any new person that are working in the utility, you have to request that person to show you where the pipes are. So in order to have an efficient management system, we need to have the networks at our hand. So this is what we do. We train the utility technicians on GIS, so they did all their networks using that GIS map, so that they can easily identify where is the fitting, where is the reservoir, where is the borehole, where is the generator. So everything will be clear, and it will be in office, and anybody when comes to the utility as a new person can continue his work. So it becomes very simple. This is the customer forum. In the customer forum, what we did is that we tried to organize customers at town level and at Kabale level, because in our case, the load administration Kabale in. So we have to have a kind of a structured customer forum. So the customer forum has a quarterly review meeting. So this is the utility manager, Zalalam. He is presenting a report to the customer forum so that they can understand the service, they can ask the service, because previously people know that know only the interruption of water, but they don't know how water is coming, the linkage between water and electricity and other issues. So they always complaining about the utilities, because if there is no electricity and if a utility is supplying water from the borehole, if electricity is shut off, the water is automatically shut. So people should understand how the water is working so that the complaint reduce and also the servicing. Then this is how we are doing. And by establishing these customer forums, we managed to generate income also from people and have a service expansion. I think they managed to generate 1.5 million for other service expansion. So as a result, they did service expansion for those areas that are in need currently. So these are the outcomes. So we create access for people without any infrastructure. So by reducing the leakage, by improving the skills and the knowledge of people, by improving the asset management, by knowing the infrastructures, it helps us to increase access for more people. It creates access for marginalized people, especially we use a 1 to 5 faucet approach. Because in Ethiopia, if you want to have a household connection, you have to pay first a connection fee. That is the mechanism. If you do not pay that, you can't have any household connection. But here, what we did is that for the household connection also, the utilities usually charge 40 to 60% of service charge. So all this should be paid before any installation. But what we did here is that we organize actually old ladies that do not have access to water supply, 5 households. Then they can have a 1 faucet for the 5 households. They can pay based on their consumption. So one of the household will be responsible for the faucet. The other will pay based on their consumption. And we gave them a 1-year loan for the installation of the installation fee, because that will allow them to pay in a long term. They can pay the loan without any interest rate for 1 year with their water bill. So this is one of the mechanisms that we use to reach these marginalized or the poor people. Actually, these households are usually they are municipal households. I think I heard about there are municipal households in Yorkshire, and they get water using the social tariff system. So this is like the social tariff system. As a result of our partnership also, I think Yorkshire has a recognition, and I think they were a finalist in national awards. So our partnership gets fruits both for the Ethiopian water utilities, and also it's a good recognition also for Yorkshire. These are the ladies that were. So look, we have this 1 faucet. Have you seen this one? So they can use this 1 faucet. So because previously they should pay 2 birr for 20 liters if they want to get water from another neighbor. Now they can pay 25 cents or 20 cents, and it's near their house, not from us. So otherwise, actually in some areas they may also work for the water owner. They should work. They should have a labor for the water owner, so that they can get the water in exchange of their labor. So it was very difficult for them. So these are households actually managed by the municipality, but they don't have the facilities. So this is the 1 to 5 faucet approach that we use to reach this marginalized community. This is our visit. So now I think we became like Yorkshire. So actually, our visit is based on our interest, as I indicated, and we visit areas related to our current intervention, not any new or any different area. So we have a visit on the water. So we saw how they manage the boreholes, the water quality, and also the water resource management. We had a visit on the waste management, especially waste management areas that can be applicable in Ethiopia. They have the huge waste management, but that is not applicable in Ethiopia. But they have waste management systems that can be applicable in Ethiopia. So we had a visit on that area. We saw the business plans, the asset management, leakage management, and also the regulations. Because in Ethiopia, there is no regulation for water utility. They are public enterprise, they can run by themselves. But I think for the future, it will be a good opportunity also for water to work on that direction, to have a regulatory framework, so that they will be responsible for the regulation. And we saw in Yorkshire there are also performance indicators set by the regulator. So the utility should follow that performance indicator. So we had also actually a visit in cultural places. So we say that Yorkshire is different. I think it will be good if I hand over to Zelalem and he can talk what he gets from the capacity building. Thank you very much. I will translate. Okay. I will try to translate.
Thank you very much for preparing and those trade. But in my town, በአጠቃላይ የዋተር ኤድ በሰጠው ጋር መሰረት በደብረ ታቦር ከተማ የነበረበትን ጋር
it helps us to fill our gaps
ያንን በመጠቀም ያው በተሰጠን ስልጠና መሰረት በዋተር ማኔጅመንት አጠቃላይ ሲስተሙ ምን እንደሚመስል and water design, water asset management, electromechanical part, and other.
Based on the training, they tried to implement both the asset management, business planning, electromechanical. Actually, I forgot. They established a workshop for their electro. Previously, they don't have that. Now they tried to establish electromechanical workshop after the training, and they can do a small maintenance, minor maintenance in their workshop.
So all staff,
so all staffs now have the right skill and also knowledge to operate their area in their area.
There is more commitment, but
it increases the staff commitment.
Electromechanical workshop
The electromechanical workshop was set up by the worker, by the employees.
And also feasibility study አደረግንና ይህንኛውን በሊኬጅ ማኔጅመንት ፕሮብሌም ስላለ የሊኬጅ ማኔጅመንቱን የነበረውን ፓይፕ አውጥተን ወደ HDP pipe.
Now they did an assessment on the causes of leakage. Then they take out the old pipe like that one. They sold that one because this is a mechanism to get money for the utilities. Then they replace the JS pipe by HDP pipes.
Not only reduce leakage management, but the ሽጠን አሴት ማኔጅመንቱን በዚህኛው በሌላ ማቴሪያል እንዲሰራ አድርገን ቅድም አይታችሁት የነበረው በጣም ለአስማቲክ ኦር ለሌላ ተዳርጋ የነበረችው የንብረት ኦፊሰሯ አሁን ተቀይሮ እኛ ክፍል ያለው በደንብ ለስራ ምቹ የሆነበት ምክንያት አለው እና የዚህኛው በኮስት ኢፌክቲቭ መሆናችን አሴት ማኔጅመንት እና ሊኬጅ ማኔጅመንቱን ኢንተግሬትድ ያደረግንበት ኤሪያ ነው።
Yeah, actually they used the income from selling of these old pipes to improve their asset management. I think I show you in the previous slide they have a beautiful store. So they use the money from these old pipes to establish that store. And actually what they did is that when they sold, they can do the store using these old pipes, but when they compare the price of these old pipes and also the price of the stores that are available in market, the price of this is better than that. So they sold this one and they procured the other asset management so that they can get more money compared to using this for store management.
And then ለህዝቡ ስለሆነኛ ምንም ነገር እንዴት water supply-ውን ማኔጅ እንደምናደርገው ሊኬጅ ማኔጅመንቱን እንዴት ማኔጅ ማድረግ እንዳለብን water quality እንዴት ማኔጅ ማድረግ እንዳለብን ሳናውቅ በwater ኤድ አማካኝነት ስልጠና በተሰጠን መሰረት the first time ከስተመርን ባለን ችግሩ እንዳለ ወደ ከስተመርስ ነበረ ፎረም የመሰረት ነው። So ከስተመርስ ፎረም ከመሰረቱ በኋላ question ነበር ሬዝ ያደረጉት ለከስተመር ያ ምንድነው አንደኛው ለሁሉም ድሆች ውሃ አድሬስ ማድረግ መቻላቸው ወተር አድሬስ ማድረግ ያለበት የሚል ተነሳና 1 to 5 focused approach will be the right.
So based on the training and by establishing the customer forums, they present their current situation, their problems about the overall water supply, about the leakage, about the network. So the question raised from the customer forums is about the equitability of distribution, because there are people that do not get access living in the center of the town. So they had a discussion on that. That is why they derived the 1 to 5 faucet approach to reply for the request of the customer forums.
ከዛ በኋላ ሰዎቹ ሁሉም ድሃ በዛ ከተማ ሁሉም ድሃ አሁን የውሃ አክሰስ አለ ማለት ነው። ድሆቹም ራሳቸው በራሳቸው የነበረውን ፕሮብሌም የተፈታበት ሁኔታ አለ። ህብረተሰቡም እንዳ ኦፊሱ which is አንድ ሆኗል። ስለዚህ በደብረታቦር ከተማ አሁን ሊኬጅ ማኔጅመንት እናቃለን፣ ሬዲዩስ እያደረግን ነው። አሴት ማኔጅመንት እናቃለን and ኤሌክትሮሜካኒካል ፓርቱንም እናቃለን። ከስተመር እንዴት ማኔጅ ማድረግ ማለት እናውቃለን። ይሄንን በወተር ኤድ አማካኝነት ስለ ከተማይቱ በጣም ወደ ያደገች ስለመጣች ወርክሼርንም በአጋጣሚ በዚሁ ደግሞ ጉብኝት አድርጎ በመጣው በሚቀጥለው ሆፕ ወርክሼር ጋራ ዳይሬክት ሪፖርት
He is actually promising. They are implementing all the interventions that I indicated previously, and he is thanking WaterAid, and he promised to report directly to Yorkshire. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
So, what is the next? Now, I think we are coming to the final. So, then going forward, we will refine and strengthen our work by standardizing of our capacity building, because we had a lot of learnings throughout our intervention. We had also learnings from Yorkshire. So we use that learnings to improve our tools, and we will standardize our capacity development. We'll continue working with Leeds University. We have started to work with Leeds University. Now we design the sheet flow diagram tool. So we'll have a workshop in Ethiopia by June. So the workshop will be a practical based or evidence based advocacy approach. So the plan is we'll do a sheet flow diagram for one town. We will do that with the Leeds University. Then we'll have a training for the 20 towns based on the evidence that generated from the ground. Then we will have a national workshop. So we had the evidence at the town level that the tool can work. We had an evidence that the tool can work for other towns also, for the 20 towns. So we will have a national advocacy and influencing workshop, so that the other stakeholders can use this tool for their urban sanitation planning. So this is actually the sheet flow diagram. So it shows that where should be the investment of this town, because in waste management, the first thing is to contain the waste, then emptying, transport, treatment, and removal. So if the red line shows that the investment should go to this area. So for this town, it is about emptying. It is not about containment, or it's not about. So the major investment should go to. So the town should plan how to empty the full latrine. So this is actually a powerful tool. I think it is shared for others.
And this was a quote from Gashai, who's the former program director in Ethiopia, and I think it really summarises the partnership and the strength that we have there with that partnership. I'll let you read that yourself.
So this is vision, concentration, and we like to to be this one to be an Ethiopian eagle. So we'll continue the journey in this direction. Thank you. If you have any question, you are welcome. Thank you.
All gone very quiet.
Thank you for the question. I work with I watched this I watched Town, and I'm very happy about the one time program, because that was one of the areas that we realized that there was a lot of people paying higher in the current rate than we have a household net. I was wondering, the one side, is it only for your city, or is that a national program? If it's a growth, then it's generating investment around one side of it.
You want to answer that, Mane?
Yeah. Actually, this is a pilot for us. So we tested this in the Bratabo. Now it's working. We shared this to the national utility for us. So it is it's the utilities. They can take this experience and use for themselves. So we are pushing toward that direction, and we are showing the actually alternative options, because in our case, it's public water points that are considered as a proper approach by any donor. But that's not the reality, because if you have a household connection, you have to pay 3 bill for a meter cube. But if you get water from a public tap, you have to pay 9 bill. That is 3 times. So you have time. You may get also queue in the water table, and unfortunately pay. So that's not the right approach. So we are showing other approaches. So I think we shared that, but we will push that also to be a standard approach. And I think it's very important for the utility to deliver, because in some of the utilities they have a loan mechanism, but some of the utilities really to have this. And I think if we want to bring change, we need to have champions. In the Black Tower, we have champions like Zalala. So if the utility manager don't want to be a champion, that will be difficult to implement.
Any other questions? Have we got any questions from our... No? People joining us? No? Brilliant. Thank you very much. Go on.
Okay, another question. Unfortunately, as we know, here because of the lots of elderly know effect of decline. I'm not sure where exactly that started. How do you work with any agricultural groups to kind of examples programs like how reliable is your supply, and have you ever had companies
Actually, unfortunately, all the towns were not affected by that. So we don't have any. But we have that in rural water supply. And usually we try to resolve or to have a win-win approach. We have to provide them with some of the amount for them. And we have to, in this area, we don't have any. But we saw that there is a decrease in the amount of water that we get from the borrow.
Thank you very much. Mane and Zelalem will be around in this room for about the next sort of 20 minutes. So if anybody does want to have a chat with them, please do. Thank you very much.